Namaste, namaste viewers. Welcome to this 7th global edition of Global Oneness Festival. Welcome once again, all of you. Today evening, we are going to listen to Dr. Rekha Rao on the subject of Poetic Imagery of Gangashtaka Stotram and Sculptural Representations of this Stotram. I will briefly start the session by chanting Shanti mantras and then I will introduce the speaker to you and then I will hand over the mic to the speaker. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sutan Devan Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachayam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Ya Kundendu Tushara Dhavala Ya Shubhra Vastravrata Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahmachyuta Shankara Prabhutivir Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadyapaha Om Purnamada Purnavidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dr. Rekha Rao is a scholar of Indology with master's degree from University of Mysore. She got trained under Dr. S.R. Rao, former Deputy Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, and has pursued sustained independent research since 2010. Her research focuses on Indian temple architecture and iconography, with a particular emphasis on interpreting Indus Valley seals, devadasi and apsara sculptures, and Buddhist architectural traditions. Her work employs an interdisciplinary methodology that integrates Vedic and Sanskrit textual analysis with archaeological and visual evidences, offering the original perspectives on ongoing debates in Indian art history and cultural studies. Rao is an author of 19 books and numerous research articles published in international journals and on academic platforms such as academia.edu and India Facts. Her writings significantly advance understanding of Indian art, ritual traditions, and cultural history, making complex subjects accessible to both academic as well as general audiences. Her books are available in print and digital formats on Amazon. Then those reflect her enduring commitment to the research and to dissemination of the knowledge. Thank you, Dr. Rao, for agreeing to give this presentation. Please start your presentation.
Namaste, everybody. Thanks to Indika Moksha for inviting me to give a talk this evening. This presentation examines the poetic imagery of Gangashtaka attributed to Adi Shankaracharya from archaeological and iconographic perspectives. The archaeological perspective focuses particularly on Gangavatarana, that is, descent of Ganga, relief at Mahabalipuram and other temple sculptures. Using a comparative approach, the study links a few of the Gangashtaka phrases to what Shankaracharya has described in the Gangashtaka. This shows that early medieval sculptors expressed theological and cosmological concepts through spatial layouts and iconography, blending geological features and metaphysical ideas into temple artwork. Many Puranic stories and Vedantic philosophies were made accessible to ordinary people because they were crafted as sculptures within temples. I go to slide 2 now for the agenda.
Just a second.
Slide 2 is the agenda. I give a brief note on Gangashtaka. Then the legend related to the descent of Ganga. Then third point will be narrative panels in stones. And fourth point will be phrases from verse 1 to 8 of Gangashtaka and its sculptural depictions. And finally, conclusion. I go to slide 3 now for a brief note on Gangashtaka. Adi Shankaracharya was one of India's greatest philosophers and the foremost exponent of Advaita Vedanta, non-dualism, in the 8th century CE. Shankaracharya's corpus involves Stotra Sahitya, devotional hymns that are poetical and experiential. In the category of devotional compositions, several well-known ashtakams are attributed to Shankaracharya. Gangastakam is one of them, a powerful devotional hymn in praise of the sacred river Ganga, composed in a simple lyrical meter in 8 stanzas. Ganga is revered both as a physical river and as a divine power that removes sins and grants release from samsara. It connects the Ganga's descent from heaven as a cosmic symbol with a physical landscape. But why do ashtakams in praise of a deity have only 8 verses? The number 8 is auspicious, symbolizing completeness, divine and cosmic order, and infinity in space. 8 stanzas are a manageable length for memorization and ideal for focused devotional meditation and daily recitation that builds up inner strength and faith. Gangastakam combines poetic imagery, sacred geography, and Advaitic spirituality, designed for daily recitation and symbolic completeness. This presentation highlights the concept of universal oneness. It compares the poetic expression, the flow of verses, and the mental imagery of Gangastakam with the visual narratives that Mahabalipuram rock renders in stone. The cosmic descent, described in words, is correlated with the visualization of the descent. I go to slide 4 now for the legend related to the descent of Ganga. In this image, this is from cave 16 at Ellora, Bhagirath is depicted in the top section performing penance. Ganga, in a semi-personified form, is descending forcefully. Shiva is shown spreading his matted hair to catch the powerful descent of the river. An elephant and people of Bullock are also shown playing in the waters of Ganga. Sage Jahnu, marked in the top arrow, observe the top arrow, is seated on a slab meditating. Below him and below the elephant figure are the figures of Sagara's sons. Observe the yellow arrow now. They are in Anjali Mudra and represented as half figures. Since Gangashtaka, the Mahabalipuram rock relief, and this panel are all based on the descent of Ganga from mountains, it is essential to recall the related tale of Bhagiratha, who was an ancestor of Sri Rama and a glorious king of Ikshvaku, that is Suryavamsha lineage. The first ruler of Ikshvaku dynasty, King Sagara, performed an Ashwamedha yaga, but the horse was stolen by Indra and hid near sage Kapila's ashram. Sagara's sons, when they found the horse near Kapila's ashram, wrongly accused and insulted sage Kapila of stealing the Ashwamedha horse. They get cursed by sage Kapila, burnt, and the souls were trapped in the ashes. King Bhagiratha of Ikshvaku dynasty performed intense penance to bring the celestial river Ganga to earth and liberate the trapped souls. At Bhagiratha's request, Shiva received the mighty Ganga in his matted locks as her force while falling was severe, and she was gently released onto the earth. Flowing as Janhavi, after her encounter with sage Jahnu, Ganga finally reached the ashes of Sagara's sons and granted them salvation. This is briefly the tale why Ganga flowed down from heaven to earth. I go to slide 5 now for the third point, the narrative panels in stone. I give a brief description about what rock panels are and how the theme of Ganga's descent and many other episodes are called on a monolithic rock. There are two pictures. The first one is the bigger picture. It is the Mahabalipuram rock relief. The second one in deep brown is also from Mahabalipuram. It's a lesser known rock relief made as a first trial by the Pallavas. Both rocks have a broader cleft in the middle that is used to depict the path of Ganga's fall. The Mahabalipuram rock relief art falls into the category of panoramic narratives. The architectural style of panoramic rock art, observe the top figure, are extensive, covering every inch of available space and natural rock formation to depict multiple events. Its compositions are seamless and fluid, showing various scenes and actions without reusing characters. Rock relief figures are two-dimensional because they are created by scooping out the hard rock to the desired shape. The figures are previously sketched and later scooped by highly skilled sculptors to get perfection in shape, size, and action of the figures. The Gangashtaka Sutra also follows this pattern, featuring many episodes presented concisely. Each verse and its phrase are compact, combining multiple expressions. Here, the comparison of Gangashtaka is mainly with the panoramic rock of Mahabalipuram, but I have also added illustrations of Ganga's descent from different temples, like the Chalukya-style sandstone structure from 6th century CE in Aihole, Kailasa Ellora caves, cave number 16 in Maharashtra, as well as two granite panels depicting Chola-style art at Ekamreshwara temple in Tamil Nadu. Regarding the period of these archaeological monuments and Adi Shankaracharya, all these monuments date back to the period before Shankaracharya. The widely accepted date for Shankaracharya, the founder of Advaita Vedanta system, is around 8th century CE. The Mahabalipuram rock, dating to 7th century CE in Pallava style, predates Adi Shankaracharya by at least 100 to 150 years. The Mahabalipuram relief might have influenced Shankaracharya to create Gangastakam historically, because both emerged from the same sacred imagination. The resemblance in expression between these two separate forms conveyed through Adi Shankaracharya's flowing Ganga parallels the architectural grandeur of the spatial, ecological, and cosmological scene of Ganga's flow as depicted in a monolithic rock. Now I go through the phrases of Gangastakam and give a parallel expression of them in stone. I go to slide 6 now. Verse 1, I have chosen only few verses from Gangastakam and I have tried to correlate it with a sculptural representation. This part of sculpture is from Mahabalipuram rock. The third line in the verse 1 says about Ganga as Sakala Kalusha Bhange. The line goes, Sakala Kalusha Bhange, Swarga Sopana Gange, Tarala Tara Tarange, Devi Gange Prasida. Sakala Kalusha Bhange means Ganga. You are the destroyer of all my sins. Swarga Sopana Gange means you are the staircase to attain heaven. Now let's see why she is the remover of sins and how the depiction of elevating the spiritual levels of men is rendered in stone. The poetic expression Sakala Kalusha Bhange symbolizes cleansing of all sins. This is depicted in stone where two individuals, please observe the red frame, wearing simple headdress, are shown immersing in the Ganga, engaging in morning prayers and offering namaskara. Now observe the yellow frame. Two sages or priests with jata tied above their heads are performing worship rituals like waving aarti to Ganga, it's in his right hand. The priest is collecting sacred water in a pot and carrying it on the shoulder. And the other priest also has multiple pots with water stacked one above the other. They hold kusha grass at the base and top to ward off evil spirits for further rites. The strict adherence to dharmic rituals and practices enhances faith, devotion, and release from sins. This aspect is depicted in the rock panel that matches with Sakala Kalusha Bhange. The other phrase is Swarga Sopana Gange. And another one is Tarala Tara Tarange Devi, means who is full of spreading waves. Sopana means steps to heaven. Swarga Sopana means she is like a steps to heaven. And how is this depicted in stone? Sopana, the steps are shown on the panel. Observe the red arrow as the steps that lead to waves of Ganga, who is described as Tarala Tara Tarange Devi. Ganga is said to be like a ladder to heaven. Philosophically meaning she elevates one from mundane to spiritual. In the rock, the ritual practices performed with Shraddha and Bhakti on the banks of Ganga are sure to elevate one on the spiritual path. The steps are conceived as the thing that connects land and Swarga because Ganga flows from mountain tops. One of the phrases in the 6th verse also mentions Ganga as Kashi Pranta Viharini. It's an expression of Tarala Tara Tarange Devi, expressing how people in Kashi offer their prayers in river Ganga to this day and feel relieved of sins. I go to slide 7 now. Verse 2, the first line says, Bhagavati Bhavalila Mauli Male Tavambaha. This phrase is correlated with the panel that belongs to early Chalukyas of 6th century CE. It is in the Ravanpadi cave temple at Aihole that was built in 550 CE. The Bhagirath episode is depicted as a tableau in one of the panels of Ravanpadi cave. Bhagavati Bhavalila is, O goddess. Mauli Male Tavambaha means you are sporting like a garland on Shiva's head. Mauli, though it means top of the head, in a spiritual context, it is associated with Lord Shiva's head. Now let us see how she is depicted on Shiva's head as a garland, Mauli Male. The image depicts an emaciated Bhagiratha in deep penance, standing on one leg. Shiva has loosened his matted hair at the back to manage the force of river Ganga's descent. Parvati stands gracefully to Shiva's left, above Shiva's head. Ganga is shown with her 2 head streams, collectively appearing as 3 goddesses within an arc-shaped flowery pattern, which is described as Mauli Male. River Ganga, with its 2 turbulent head streams, Bhagirathi and Alakananda, is represented as 3 river goddesses adorned with crown, halos, and jewelry and holding Anjali Mudra. Ganga is thus called Triveni, meaning the 3 divisions of a blade. The 3 river goddesses above Shiva's head are depicted as a garland that is called Mauli Male by Shankaracharya. But rivers are shown only in personified form, only in the upper body part. I go to slide 8 now. The second line of verse 2 says, Kadam Anuparimanam Pranino Ye Sparshanti. Shankaracharya says, Kanam, a drop. Anuparimanam means the measure of an atom. Pranina means all living beings. Even if they touch 1 drop of Ganga, they will attain moksha. How is such an abstract expression carved in stone? Mahabalipuram rock depicts humans of multiple categories and animals all going towards the cleft of the rock where Ganga is depicted to descend. Everyone is rushing to touch Ganga's water because Even a single drop is believed to absolve sins. This scene is depicted on the rock, showing people from all walks of life, commoners such as hunters, farmers, blacksmiths, and sages in prayer, all eagerly awaiting for the descent of Ganga so they can touch the waters. Because even if they touch one drop, kanam anuparimanam praninoye sparshanti, they get moksha. Even the animals and bullock are portrayed anxiously watching the river Ganga's descent. Why were all earth creatures waiting to witness the celestial singular event? Because the fall of Ganga in philosophy is a singular event or unique event. It is often used to describe a one-time event. In Sanskrit, it is itivrutta. A singular event is an occurrence that happens only once and does not repeat or have similar instances. So all the living beings are shown as anxiously waiting to witness Ganga's fall event. I go to slide 9 now. Verse 2, third line has a phrase, Amaranagara Nari Chamara Grahini Nam. The picture on the rock shows many celestial couples in various categories depicting the flying semi-divines of Antariksha. Amaranagara means the abode of immortals. This abode of immortals is depicted in an elaborate way in the panel of Gangavatarana. Amaranagara is shown with the residents of heavenly abodes such as Vidyadharas, Apsaras, Gandharvas and Siddhas who are waiting with their concert to serve Ganga with reverence. Now let us see how Amaranagara Nari, the abode of semi-divine couples is depicted in the rock panel of Mahabalipuram. I have tried to identify the different categories of semi-divines. Though they all look alike, there is difference in headdress and ear ornaments. They are in a flying posture to show they are in the sky as the inhabitants of Amaranagara. Mark number 1 is Sadhyas. In the bottom, it's marked 1. Sadhyas with long beard are a particular class of celestial beings and the accomplished deities of mantra. Then mark number 2 are Kinnaras, semi-divine mythical beings with human form in the upper body and head, and the lower body is with birds' legs, wings and feathers. They hold musical instruments. Mark number 3 is Vidyadharas, are a group of supernatural beings, meaning the holders of Vidya in Hinduism. The fourth category is Vidyadharas with magical powers. The Vidyadharas have magical powers. They can present themselves in animals like a lion or horse or big or small. The animals are shown in the panel along with Vidyadharas. Flying Gandharvas and Apsara couple are marked number 5. Gandharva couples, the celestial musicians and dancers, are portrayed in a flying dancing posture or singing. All these semi-divines are collectively called residents of Amaranagara by Adi Shankaracharya. I go to slide 10 now. One more panel with the depiction of Amaranagara Nari Chamara Grahinina. It is from the Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple of Tamil Nadu. The main figure depicts Shiva consoling Parvati, who is afraid of the force of Ganga. He is spreading his matted hair. It's called Jatavalli by Shankaracharya, with Ganga seated on it. There are side figures on both sides depicted as inhabitants of Amaranagara. The top red arrow shows the Vidyadharas on both sides. The middle row of a red arrow shows Sadhyas. The sages are semi-divine celestial beings and accomplished deities of mantras depicted in Namaskara Mudra. The bottom row of a blue arrow shows Gandharvas dancing and with apsaras, and the Gandharva couple are holding chamara in one part. This also correlates with Amaranagara Nari Chamara Grahini now. I go to slide 11 now. Verse 3. The first phrase says, Brahmandam Khandayanti Harashirasi Jatavallim Ullasayanti. Brahmandam Khandayanti literally means the universe, often metaphorically compared to the cosmic egg. This expression is related to Hiranyagarbha Sukta, in which Purusha emerges, breaking the cosmic egg-like universe into two halves. Similarly, the pure waters of heavenly Ganga originating from the Mount Meru fall like breaking the universe into two. The huge rock is here imagined to be Brahmanda by the sculptors and also described so by Shankaracharya. This expression of Brahmandam Kandayanti can be correlated with the two huge rock halves of Mahabalipuram rock and its natural vertical cleft, which is used in the path of descent of Ganga. This has made the phrase Brahmandam Kandayanti more pictorial. Many of the monolithic rocks are there in Mahabalipuram, formed during the geological activity millions of years ago. These granite rocks naturally have a cleavage in the middle. Some feature a wider gap. Observe the top two pictures. They have a wider gap, while some others have narrow cleft. Observe the bottom row of pictures with smaller slit. The two huge monolithic rocks in Mahabalipuram with nearly identical rock reliefs with similar figures and themes illustrate the descent of Ganga, the imagination of Brahmandam Khandayanti, and the technique of skilled Pallava sculptors in depicting the episode without giving a personified representation of Ganga have no match. Water stored in the upper part of the rock was designed to flow into the cleft to create the illusion of Ganga water falling. This art depiction is described by Shankaracharya as Brahmandam Khandayanti. I go to slide 12 now. For the next phrase, Harashirasi Jatavallim Ullasayanti. This is the Gangadhara Shiva panel from Kailasanatha temple at Kanchipuram. Shankaracharya has compared the matted hair of Shiva as Jatavalli, meaning matted hair like a creeper. It is again beautifully depicted in panels. Ullasayanti means that Ganga, as she descends from heaven, is feeling joyful to be on Shiva's Jata. Ganga lends luster to the creeper-like matted tresses of Shiva, though flowing with great force. I go to slide 30 now. Jatavallim Ullasayanti is also beautifully depicted in two more panels from Tamil Nadu temples. Panel show Jatavalli, the creeper-like Jata of Shiva, on which Ganga is happily seated and holds Anjali Mudra in her hands. I have marked a blue arrow to highlight Ganga. Parvati is worried about the forceful fall of Ganga and Shiva is consoling her. The second line of verse 3 says, Swarlokada patanti Kanakagiri guha Gandashailat skhalanti. Ganga is depicted tumbling down from the Swargaloka. She falls from the golden Mount Meru, called by Shankaracharya as Kanakagiri, passing through caves and valleys of this golden mountain. Ultimately, she lands on Shiva's Jata before she rolls onto earth as a river. The big monolithic rock of Mahabalipuram have been visualized as Kanakagiri, also by Shankaracharya. I go to slide 14 now. To the next phrase of verse 3. The third line in verse 3 says, Duritachaya Chamur Nirbharam Bhatsayanti. Duritachaya means who have committed multiple sins. Chamur is army. This refers to the 60,000 soldier sons of King Sagara. Chaya Chamur Nirbharam means Ganga washed away the multitude of sins of the big army of people. Another phrase in verse 6 also mentions Ganga as Kalmasha Nashini, the remover of sins. The Mahabalipuram rock illustrates how she forgave the sins of many people, she came down from heaven and gave moksha to many souls. In the panel, the depiction of sage Kapila opening his eyes is depicted and casting a curse on the 3 arrogant sons of King Sagara. They have been shown in a headless form, and the 60,000 soldier sons were reduced to ashes, and all of them remained as trapped souls. This story of Sagara's Ashwamedha Yagna episode aligns with the phrase Durita Jaya Chamur Nirbharam Bhatsayanti. Generations later, Bhagirath, a descendant of King Sagara, performed tapas to bring Ganga to earth because that was the only solution hinted by sage Kapila for the moksha of Ikshvaku dynasty kings. Bhagirath undertook the task of freeing his ancestors' souls from the curse. River Ganga, with her powerful flow, covered the ash heaps of Sagara's sons and lifted the curse from the rulers of the Ikshvaku dynasty. Nirbharam Bhatsayansi means vigorously washes away the sins of those who come into contact with her. I go to slide 15 now. Verse 4 has a phrase, Majjana Matanga. The herd of elephants are enjoying in Ganga waters as depicted in the rock panel. In the verse 4, the phrase has the mention of Majjana Matanga. Majjana is bathing and Matanga means elephants. Verse 4 of Gangashtaka mentions elephants twice, and elephants also dominate a significant portion of the rock relief. As large animals, elephants depicted on rivers for their survival, and rock relief vividly captures the elephant's excitement upon seeing the expansive Ganga river. In this verse, Adi Shankara uses various metaphors to describe the joy of elephants playing in the waters of river Ganga. Elephants are happily playing in a state of intoxication, immersed in water. Verse 4 also mentions about elephants. One more phrase is there. Kari Kalabha Karakranta. Kari means elephant. Kalabha is calf. And Akranta is trampled by elephant calves. It means Ganga is full of waves created by playful elephants and cows as they beat the water with their trunks. This is depicted in the rock panel like a large herd of elephants along with small calves happily playing in the water. The young ones beneath the legs of the large elephants are exploring the riverbed and forcefully splashing and spraying water from their trunks. This is Kari Kalabha Karakranta. I go to slide 16 now. Again, verse 4, third line, has another phrase, Sayam Pratar Muni Nam Kusha Kusuma Chaye. The panel has the depiction of pious men waiting to wave a lamp to Ganga. Sayam Pratar Muni Nam is about saints performing rituals in the morning and evening, performing dawn and dusk salutation. The rock figures show people take a holy dip in Ganga as Pavitra Snana to cleanse the body and soul and offer Arghya, homage to sun god. They recite mantras and pray respects to the deceased ancestors. In morning puja, they perform puja by offering flowers, incense, and milk to the river. The arti in the evening is Sayam, is for the removal of darkness and ignorance. These everyday rituals being performed by men are depicted in the rock panel of Mahabalipuram and beautifully described by Shankaracharya as Sayam Pratar Mudina. The following phrase in verse 4 is Kusha Kusuma Chaye. Kusha is the sacred dharma grass. The water on the banks of river Ganga are covered by heaps of flowers and Kusha dharma grass left as offering to the river both morning and evening by sages and saints. Even Rigveda Mandala 10.30 in the Nadi Sukta says, go to the river, O Advaryus, worship the waters, child with your oblations. The Advaryu priests, as mentioned in the Rig Veda, who are performance of manual part of rituals, are addressed as Pratar Muninam by Shankaracharya and depicted as priests in the rock of Mahabalipuram. I go to slide 17 now. For verse 5, it has a short phrase, Patre Jalam. In this part, we can see men carrying water in pots on their shoulders. The line goes, Adavadi Pitamahasya Niyama Vyapara Patre Jalam. Adavadi means initially. Even the Yajurveda mentions that Brahma had water in his Kamandalu for Anushtana. The Vashitivari water was collected for rituals and yagnas and also for drinking before sunset and in the morning. This was initially the niyama or the procedure set by Pitamaha Brahma. Vyapara Patre Jalam. Vyapara here means the procedure. Patre Jalam means collecting water in pots for Anushtana, means the systematic observance of a duty, ritual, or religious austerity. A similar scene is shown in the rock relief with sages collecting water in pots. Ganga's water was considered the purest as it passes through the matted hair of Shiva. People are gathering water in pots. Why? Shankaracharya writes in the next line that it is Pannagashayino Bhagavataha Padodakam Pavanam, meaning that the water is considered sacred because Ganga flows from the feet of Lord Mahavishnu, who was known as Pannagashayin, before she descends. This water is called Amrita Karasalila, indicating it as divine as nectar. Significantly, Ganga water is known as Nitya Shuddha, meaning always pure, because in the Himalayan upper regions, the number of bacteriophages is much higher. This confirms that Ganga's purity stems from bacteriophages that prevent bacterial growth and its higher oxygen level compared to other rivers keep the water fresh for longer time. I go to slide 18 now. Another phrase in verse 5 is Jahno Maharsheryam Kanya Kalmashanashini Bhagavati Bhagirati Trishyate. The panel depicts the powerful flow of Ganga with the upper part personified as a goddess and the lower part as a forceful fall. An excellent interpretation by the sculptors. Though she is caught in Shiva's jata, her strength remains evident. When Ganga descends from heaven to earth passing through Shiva's jata, her rapid flow and noise disturbed Sage Jahnu's yagna, that is a ritual sacrifice. In response, he drank all her water in one aposhana. Then, following Bhagiratha's plea, Ganga was released by Sage Jahnu through his ear. This rebirth earned her the name Jahno Maharsheryam Kanya. The Kanya is daughter of Jahnu. Sage Jahnu is shown seated on the rock slab in the panel, but the sage seated posture and the head is slightly damaged. I have indicated it by a red arrow where Jahnu is seated. But the smaller flow by his side illustrate how her force diminished, allowing her to flow peacefully as a broad river. Ganga is hence known as Kanya, daughter of Maharshi Jahnu, and Janhavi. She then flows, as Janhavi, she flows towards the sea, passing over the ash mounds of Sagara's children, granting them moksha and freeing them from the curse. Verse 5 has another phrase, Kalmashanashini Bhagavati. Now observe the lower part of the panel, indicated by another arrow, depicts numerous half figures in Namaskara Mudra. They wear crowns and the lower part symbolizing ash heaps. They represent King Sagara's sons because Ganga provides liberation from sage Kapila's curse on Sagara's sons. She is called Kalmashanashini. Therefore, Ganga is regarded as the purifier of all things. And this is how Sagara's sons, the Ikshvaku dynasty, got its name. I go to slide 19 now, verse 5. This has yet another interesting phrase, Bhagirathi Drishyate. In this, it is a depiction of Bhagirath in penance. The slide has 3 pictures, all depicting the emaciated Bhagirath in severe penance in the same Hatha Yoga posture, representing human effort bridging cosmic forces. The first and the second picture are from Mahabalipuram, and the third one is from the cave of Ramanpadi at Aihole. Since the Ikshvaku king Bhagirath, standing on one foot with both hands raised, performed tapas and brought Ganga to earth. And hence Ganga has the epithet of Bhagirathi. Gangashtaka implies divine grace of Ganga is invoked through devotion. The descent of Ganga is not accidental but invoked. Bhagavati Bhagirathi Drishyate. This episode of Bhagirath's penance is well depicted in the rock relief, and it's also seen in many temples of India. I go to slide 20 now. Verse 6 has a phrase, Sheshangair Anukarini. The serpent deities Nagas are paying reverence to Ganga. Shankaracharya describes Ganga imitates Adishesha, bending and flowing as she descends from the mountains. Emerging from Himalayas, Ganga travels all the way to the eastern side and is the longest river known in Bharat, flowing through several states before reaching the sea. She is said to follow the path of Adishesha, the serpent king known for his enormous size. Sheshangair Anukarini is again well depicted in the rock relief of Mahabalipuram. The curves of the serpent, Adishesha, are carved in the cleft that was Ganga's path as she falls. The snake's legless creeping movement makes a good comparison to the flow of India's longest river, Ganga. Verse 7 in Gangashtaka is more a eulogy of greatness of river Ganga and how she uplifts the souls even when they take a sip of water. This expression is already discussed. I go to slide 21 now. It's from the verse 8. The line quotes, Gange Trailokya Sare Sakala Suravadhu Dauta Vistirna Toye. Gange Trailokya Sare means, oh Ganga, you are the essence of the 3 worlds. How can the 3 worlds be identified on the rock of Mahabalipuram? According to the textual motif, Ganga flows through heaven, earth and Patala. The sculptural depiction of Trailokya Sare is a rare visual representation of Triloka cosmology illustrating Brahmanda. The entire rock features images of the 3 worlds. I have tried to highlight it with a color scheme. Patala, shown marked in brown color, contains images of Naga couple. Patala is sometimes linked with the serpent deity Vasuki, who is believed to reside there with other serpents. 3-4 serpents are depicted in the panel. Bhuloka, part of Triloka, is marked in green color. Shows humans and animals. The verse in line 6 states Kashi Pranta Viharini, indicating Kashi as part of Bhuloka as one of the places where Ganga flows. The upper Svargaloka, highlighted in pink shade, displays deities with prominent halos. Many semi-divine beings residing in Suranagara or Amaranagara include Gandharva and Kinnara couples, Sadhya, Sarushis in the upper zone. This scene emphasizes the coexistence of divine, mythical and cosmic entities such as the sun, moon, humans, bhaktas and all animals, all living together. Ganga embodies and traverses the 3 worlds. These ideas are vividly depicted through sculptures of Pallava art style and poetically expressed by Shankaracharya. The parallel scenes beautifully embody the Upanishadic verse Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I go to slide 22 now. Verse 8 has another phrase, Sakala Suravadu Tauta Vistirna Toye. Sakala Suravadu means all Deva women, that is apsaras, come to take bath in your wild waters. Shankaracharya says, O Ganga, since you are the essence of the three worlds, you traverse all three worlds, you are the form of Purna Brahma. She is Purna Brahma's Swarupe. As she comes down from Himalayan mountains, both Suravarga, Manushavarga take a dip in waters and she raises the spiritual standards of people who bathe in river Ganga. Why do all Deva women, Suravadu, also come to bathe in the wide waters of Ganga? Shankaracharya says, Purna Brahma Swarupe Haricharana Rajoharini Swarga Marge. He praises Ganga. When you pass through Swarga, you carry the dust from the lotus feet of Mahavishnu. You have wide waters where all Deva women, Suravadu and Apsaras come to bathe, because even a small drop of your water can serve as prayashchitta, atonement for the great sins. The rock panel shows Suravadu. I have attached a second picture where in the current period also, people take a dip in the waters of Ganga and feel purified from sins. I go to slide 23 now. I have published this book on Amazon, available as both ebook and print version, which has a detailed description of all the small figures carved in the rock and correlated with the literally 108 epithets of Ganga as described in Ganga Sutra and Gangashtaka. Now coming to conclusion, through the theme of descent of Ganga, the two rock relief panels have also focused on the core Vedic theme of creation, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which can be translated as the world is one family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is an ancient Indian concept, a Sanskrit phrase from Maha Upanishad. This phrase, a philosophical teaching in Hinduism, reflects the idea of the interconnectedness of all animals, human beings, and divines. Semi-divines of Amara Nagari, as said by Shankaracharya, and humans and all animals like elephants, deer, monkeys, naga, ascetics, all gather around the descending stream. All figures in both panels depict movement and activity. There is no marked difference in physical form between the divines, semi-divines, and earthly man or woman in one rock. The entire creation of all mortals and immortals exists in harmony. All forms of life were overwhelmed that celestial river Ganga, whose water is as precious as life-giving Amrita, is now flowing in Bhuloka. Gangashtaka demonstrates exceptional language skills, philosophy, devotion, and an ultimate Advaita vision of oneness. The last phrase of Gangashtaka says, Gangashtakam idam punyam yahpatet prayato naraha. Seeing the Mahabalipuram rock relief, understanding it, and reciting Gangashtaka Stotra simultaneously by Adi Shankaracharya doubles the accumulation of punya. This becomes an experience that deepens understanding of the richness of our heritage knowledge across both literary and archaeological fields. With this, I end my presentation. Thanks everybody for giving me your time. I sincerely thank Indika Moksha for the series of scholarly lectures I have been following daily. I am grateful for the opportunity to learn about Advaita philosophy, and I am motivated to further explore Shankaracharya's writing. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Dr. Rao. It was a completely out of the box thinking to relate the archaeological manifestation of Gangashtaka or even sculptural manifestation of Stotram, Gangashtaka Stotram. It was phenomenal. It was quite enlightening for me to hear, and I'm I'm sure that all the viewers also must have stunned by the completely out of box thinking of comparing the archaeological manifestation of Gangashtaka. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.